and start writing about that, how I feel. So that's one way to start. Another way is, I actually used to use this almost every day, is starting with a cool word. So I would start with like a word that I think is awesome and just use that as a starting point. So I love the word fruition, so I would just write like fruition, and then that would spark something else. And that it's all about, like with most things in life, getting over that point of inertia. So once you start moving, you gain momentum. So this is like a really easy way to just start that momentum. Just think of a cool word. Maybe it's a word that you came across yesterday. Maybe it's the first word that pops into your head. That's a cool way to get started. And then there's some questions. So along with those 20 questions to reveal your life purpose, there's some other types of questions that you can use that facilitates like deep wisdom coming through while journaling. And I'll tell you what I did a couple days ago with this. It's actually this first question. So the first one is, what do I have a hard time allowing myself to do? Second one is, how do I honor myself? And then, what does a higher power mean to me? How do I define love? Like all of these questions could spark like so many aha moments and reveal so much about yourself, and allows you to tap into like higher wisdom. And what stands between me and true happiness? So those are some examples of questions to spark the free writing. And these are so powerful that I did a whole other journal that's all prompts like this. It's 108 questions that are these deep, simple, profound questions that spark connection to the divine within. And I'll just tell you about a couple days ago what I did with this question. So I don't even know how I came up with it, but I was journaling on Thursday, I think it was. And this question just came to me. What do I have a hard time allowing myself to do? And I got an immediate answer. It was expressing emotions that I judge as negative. So whether it be sadness or anger or anything like that, I have always had a hard time expressing it. And this revealed that. And then I went into like probably 8 pages of journaling that revealed so much about myself and where these patterns came from and all that stuff. So it sparked so much realization, and it also was to the point where I felt so much and so much was revealed to me that I actually like went to my bed and screamed in my sheets and cried and all that to have that emotional release, because it was all tied to the suppression of emotions that I viewed as negative. So like anger, for example, like I don't want to hurt people, so I don't want to express anger, that kind of thing. Or like sadness is weakness, that kind of thing. Like I want to be the strong one, I want to help people, so to cry in front of other people is to have other people helping me, and I want to help other people. So it comes from those kind of beliefs and ties into childhood, school, all that stuff. There's so many factors that facilitate, like especially things like that, because everything, or most things in our society, teaches us to behave certain ways and to restrict certain things. So just that simple question revealed so much. It was like a string of aha moments, just that simple question revealed. And that's the power of journaling. So like that helps me really connect to my higher self and the divine, just asking simple questions or even just flowing. And I would even get similar experiences just starting with a cool word. Like, because eventually you're writing and you get into this flow where things just start coming. And you're almost able to notice when your analytical mind gets out of the way and whatever you want to call it, God, the divine, your higher self, starts to come through. There's a point that you feel it, and that's when you're really flowing. So all of this helps facilitate that flow state and that free writing. So those are some great ways to start free writing. And yeah, feel free to use other journals too. If you fill up that page really quickly, move into another journal. I keep like whole other journals just for free writing. But it's good to just start with one page. And even if it's intimidating for you to write, just start with one sentence. Like, you can do that just to start this practice. Like, again, going back to keeping it simple and establishing consistency. If it's really hard for you to write, just start with one sentence. Write one sentence a day. Could be that simple. It's just creating that consistent practice. And then we have implementation methods. So I've hinted at this throughout. It's like you can customize everything according to the time you have or what resonates with you or how you're feeling. So you can meditate for an hour if you want. You can meditate for a minute if you want. You can do body priming for a half hour or an hour if you want. You can do it for a minute if you want. So all of these are customizable. So you can do it according to however you feel, whatever resonates with you. I don't want to give you some rigid system that you have to follow, like this step and this step and this step. This is just a general framework, and then you can flow within that framework. So that's what this mindful morning routine is. You can implement it in any way that you want, and I recommend, at least in the beginning, making it as simple as possible so that you actually do it every day. And then once you make it a habit that's like second nature to you, then you can start to make it more complex or do it for a longer time. So start as simple as possible. So it's not overwhelming at all. So it's like, oh, meditate for a minute, I can do that. Not this like thing that you look at that overwhelms you that you're gonna skip. So keep it as simple as possible, especially in the beginning. So that's the best way to implement. And now we're going to finish this up, everyone's going to write their first entry. So open up to the first journaling page. And we're going to do this process. So 3 things that you're grateful for, priorities, the comfort zone, affirmations, and free writing.